Ladies and gentlemen, our time of triumph has come. The jokes are finished. Now it's serious. Ripple's CEO has verified court win over the SEC. This could be the largest event in all time of the cryptocurrency universe. Moreover, it is the most optimistic indication we could have ever hoped for. Experts predict XRP's price might reach $59,472. Pretty amazing. No? Seize your opportunity to become wealthy. Without more delay, let's cut to the chase. Disclaimer: years of ambiguity have passed. Ripple has at last finished its legal fight with the SEC. One could argue that this is quite significant for XRP Ripple coin and the larger cryptocurrency scene. Not with more delays or legal wrangling, but with a settlement that strongly favors Ripple. What started as one of the most controversial lawsuits in the history of the business is now coming to a close. As Steph tweeted, "The XRP legal fight is almost over." Once optimistic, that tweet has become reality now. In a recent Fox Business interview, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse verified the SEC's agreement to drop the case. The government's position on digital assets seems to be changing under a new chair running the agency. There's a new tone, a feeling that crypto is no longer seen just as a danger, but as an evolving sector deserving of knowledge, regulation, and integration. Garlinghouse said Ripple had reserved $125 million to cover the possible penalty, but under the current agreement most of that money is being returned, together with the interest it generated. Perhaps most importantly, Ripple could resolve the outstanding $50 million in XRP rather than US dollars. Coin Bureau's shared information has generated industry-wide speculation in spades. Might the US government one day acknowledge XRP as a valid payment method? Might it be included in a digital assets reserve? These are no longer fringe inquiries, they are now included in the actual discussion. Thus we are just awaiting the SEC's formal announcement. The lawsuit on XRP has been formally dropped. XRP will celebrate its new life on that day, tweeted Worlds, summing the mood of a community that has waited years for this time. Ripple, meanwhile, is not wasting time. Garlinghouse also disclosed Ripple's enormous $2 billion purchase of Hidden Road, a decision that would have appeared impossible only a year ago, when US authorities were adopting an openly antagonistic attitude toward the whole crypto sector. Such a deal indicates Ripple is done playing defense. It's growing again at scale, confidently, and with its regulatory chains finally lifted. The very concept of paying a federal penalty in XRP is quite symbolic. It indicates that Ripple thinks its own asset is a functional currency with significant promise rather than just a token. Should authorities allow that payment, it might be a quiet but significant turning point in American financial history. The silent acknowledgement of a digital asset's legitimacy. This result is not only good for Ripple, for the sector, it is a turning point. Years of dread, litigation, and halted creativity have passed. We are now entering a new phase. XRP's new life could already be here. Interesting enough, correct. But believe me, this is only the start. With Ripple having defeated the SEC action, the stage is set for something enormous. XRP's price is not only bouncing back, it's getting ready to break out. And what certain crypto experts forecast, it's nothing short of explosive. If you believed XRP's legal win was significant, wait till you learn where the charts indicate it is going next. Stay around. What is coming could really astound you. XRP is not only attracting notice from traders now that Ripple's legal constraints are off. Some of the most audacious price forecasts we have ever seen are beginning to illuminate the whole cryptocurrency universe. Whether you are a seasoned investor or merely observing from the sidelines, the increase in excitement and confidence around Ripple's token is impossible to ignore. When he tweeted, "XRP to $5 this month," Jack the Rippler did not hold back. That's not only hope, it's also belief. He's not the only one. The XRP Avengers made it abundantly evident. XRP is my whole focus. Now that the legal haze has cleared, convinced the actual promise of XRP is only just starting to show, these believers are doubling down. Then there is Oscar Ramos, who voiced what many holders are secretly thinking. You're likely to enjoy this if you hold XRP. XRP will make you wealthy. Whether that is reality or fantasy depends on how far you think this coin can travel. But one thing is certain, the XRP community is now receiving tremendous energy. It seems more like a reckoning years in the making than a pump. Then there is the wild card. The forecast straddling the line between insane and visionary. Random CryptoPol, one user said, "Of course we've seen similar meme-fueled forecasts before, but in crypto, cultural moments have a funny way of becoming market catalysts. The reality that individuals are even tossing out figures like this reveals how explosive the feeling has gotten. Not all forecasts, however, originate in memes. Some come from credible sources, such Forbes. A now-deleted piece called New Bitcoin is XRP and it's headed to $59,472. Briefly appeared on Forbes before vanishing mysteriously. The post was allegedly supported by a crypto investment company and echoed by Google's Bing chatbot as well as Google Bard. Although the precise cause of its deletion is unclear, both artificial intelligence assistants verified the article's existence, publication date, and astonishing forecast. Bard and Bing said the paper contended that increasing institutional interest, the broader use of RippleNet, and a positive worldwide attitude toward digital payments could cause XRP's value to skyrocket. Several critics noted that the piece probably promotional and might not have satisfied Forbes' editorial criteria, but in crypto, where excitement meets headlines, even a disappearing narrative can have a genuine influence. In the interim, Europe has already aimed high. According to CryptoGeek, European financial analysts have allegedly set XRP at $60,000, a figure that once seemed like science fiction but now seems to have entered the realm of possibility, or at least speculation with traction. It all comes back to one thing: the story has evolved. XRP is no longer struggling to survive, its battle is for supremacy. Whether it reaches $5, $50, or something even more insane, the road ahead seems more open than it ever has. The question now is not whether XRP can bounce back, it's how far can it truly go. XRP is finally free to pursue its full potential in this new era, thus all we can say is that, insane, correct, but we have not even begun to touch the surface. You will not believe what Ripple has been doing covertly. Partnerships are springing up all over. Ripple, meanwhile, is quietly setting itself up to rule the financial sector. Believe me. Next is the most bullish indication we have seen in a long period. When you look at Ripple's plans though, you'll see why skipping XRP now would be inexcusable. Ripple is no longer merely a sideline token. It's fast turning into the beating heart of a new financial ecosystem. Its explosive growth depends on worldwide XRP adoption. For those who have been observing, XRP's promise was always obvious, but now it's beginning to really take off in the actual world. This is no longer only about price speculation, it's about XRP fundamentally altering the movement of money throughout the world. Brad Garlinghouse has been outspoken on Ripple's actual goal. Recently he remarked that while Bitcoin has been a successful experiment, not in terms of payments, it's a point that really speaks to. Though Bitcoin has surely opened the door for crypto's popular awareness, it has never really satisfied the requirements of low transaction costs, speed, scalability, and modern-day payments. Conversely, XRP was created from the ground up to address these issues. XRP is more likely to rule the future of payments as more banks use Ripple's network. XRP is already being supported by a growing network of financial institutions, corporations, and banks. In Lord XRP's own words, every bank is directly or indirectly linked to XRP. The secret to global adoption is this interconnection. XRP is being smoothly incorporated into the conventional banking sphere, with Ripple's strategic alliances with financial behemoths including Bank of America, Santander, and others. This is not a niche coin. Already gaining popularity in the corridors of world finance, this is the future of cross-border payments. One of the most fascinating discoveries, however, comes from Edo Farina, whose tweet ignited a more in-depth discussion. Merrill Lynch is BlackRock's largest shareholder, with 45% ownership. BlackRock also owns XRP. Bank of America acquired Merrill Lynch following the 2008 collapse. Using XRP for payments, Bank of America